Hello and welcome to the show. Round 16. So, how are we tonight? Are we all good? Well, coming up on tonight's show, we have our guest is Erick Rainey. And he is an expert on things like health, NLP, and yoga. So, if you're looking for a guru who can give you a combined holistic practice of all these things in one, watch out for Erick's interview coming up later on in the show. And tonight, you'll also need your yoga mats for the gentle movement meditation. If you don't have a yoga mat, don't worry. Just bring your device next to your bed and use your bed or your futon, or if you've got an extremely large couch, just something, or even if you're outside, you can lie in the grass. It's nice and sunny tonight in central Scotland. Why not do your exercise out with nature? Even better on the grass. Just as long as you've got something to cushion your backbone and your muscles, so that you've got some comfort for the exercise. And for those who are just watching for the first time tonight, the show is recorded to YouTube, our YouTube channel, which is the same name, Vincent Anthony Media. So if you miss the show, you don't need to panic. Not only is it recorded, does it stay on Facebook, this Facebook page, but it also is recorded to the YouTube channel, Vincent Anthony Media, for those who don't do Facebook and for those who miss the live version. Also, if you're new to the show, we have, since this is week 16, so we have a group of the raconteurs, and the raconteurs are regular viewers who also join in with us, and they say hello on the message box there. So the reason why we do this show live as a live stream show is because it's interactive. You can interact with me, and you can also interact with each other on that message box, and you can also even ask questions as well. So don't be shy. Come on the message box and say hello. Tell us who you are, and you can join our regulars. So we have our first our resident raconteur tonight. We have William Ritchie. Because William's been a regular for a few weeks, he gets 2 DJ Horn shout-outs. That wasn't my mistake, I promise you. So welcome, William, and hope you enjoy the show tonight. Now, before we get into our exercises and our interviews, I'm just going to do some quick announcements first. Now, the first is that I work in partnership with Ecamm. So, if you're a Mac user and you think, I'd quite like to have my own show, then go on my website. I'll just dial in the website here for you. And on the home page, there it is there. Just click on Ecamm Live, and that will take you on your way to broadcasting. We welcome another of our regular raconteurs tonight, Alex Miller. Welcome, Alex. We've not seen you for a few weeks, but I'm glad you're back. Glad you come to join the clan of the Wellness Show tonight. So enjoy the show tonight, Alex. And Alex is another media person as well. He does video and camera work and things like that too. A lot of creatives join our clan of raconteurs on the show, but you don't have to be a creative to join the raconteurs. You can be anything. You can be nothing. As long as you just want to join in with us and spend this time with us, this quality time with us, that's all that matters. If you'd like to donate to the show, any donations will be much appreciated. I can maybe invest in a new USB microphone for the show or something. Again, click on that tab on the homepage there on that site, and you can donate. Or perhaps if you're a benefactor or a company and you want to have your logo up on the screen like a little advert during the show, live streaming is one of the best ways to advertise your products or services. We can do that. Get in touch and we can talk about doing that. Put your logo up on the screen if you want to advertise. Perhaps if you're a business and you are selling health and well-being products, this is the ideal show in the whole world. This is the ideal show to put your health and well-being products to let people know about you, and we can certainly tell the viewers who you are, where you come from, and how to get in touch with you to buy those products, and we can maybe say a few words about the products or services as well. So that's our main announcements. So before we go into our um, exercise tonight, our gentle movement, which will require the yoga mats, I just want to say a few words about CBT. And now, last week, if you missed last week's show, I spent some time talking about cognitive behavioral technique stroke therapy. And it's a really good technique to be able to use it for your life in general. So I'm not going to go over the techniques. If you missed last week's show and you want to know the basic techniques for CBT, watch week 15 on YouTube. Just watch the start of the show and you'll get the actual techniques. But I just wanted to just have a chat to you tonight about how I used CBT in the last week to improve my own well-being and that of others around me. Now, I'm not the only one. I have heard the same story from other people, but during lockdown, I've found that when I go into supermarkets or if I go into council facilities, the staff launch into a verbal almost attack of, you're going the wrong way, turn around and go back, go a different way. They don't speak to you, they actually shout or they raise their voices. And it can be, it's quite offensive, really, isn't it? I mean, customer service is the most important aspect of your business. And if your employees are snapping at the public, that's only going to damage your reputation and your brand. Now, I'm self-employed, and to me, reputation and my conduct and my behavior is the most important aspect to always be mindful of. So, for example, I'll never snap at a customer on the phone or in person, ever. You never do that to a customer. They are paying your wages. They can choose to go elsewhere. Okay? I've never even snapped at a client, even if they've cheated me out of wages after doing a job for them. If that happens, you simply get in touch with the small claims court or your lawyer and you deal with it in a civil way. You don't snap at people. You don't shout at people. You don't threaten people. You be very civil, even if you're frustrated and angry that someone's cheated you out of a client's cheated you out of your wages that you're due. So let's go back to what's happened. Other people have said the same thing to me. You get snapped at if you're in a supermarket or in a council facility, and it's quite offensive. Now, your instant reaction is to have a go back, isn't it? Is to have a snap back. But you've got to be careful, because if you have a snap back at an employee of an organization, they can take offense and then they can go to their boss. And before you know it, you've got police and you've got court cases galore. Okay? So you might think, well, why is it okay for people to do it to me? Why shouldn't I snap back? Well, the reason I shouldn't snap back and escalate it is because I'm meant to be the mindfulness guy. I'm meant to be knowledgeable about human behavior and how not to react to people, but to act in the right way so that we both leave unharmed. Okay? So I'm just going to go through some of the stages that I went through in my mind so as not to escalate a problem that should never exist in the first place. Okay? I'm in the supermarket to buy products. I'm at the council facility to use their services, which I've paid for. Okay? So I'm paying their wages. I'm the client. However, being a mindfulness guy, I've got to be one better than that. So I'm in the facility or I'm in the supermarket, okay? The employee snaps at me. They just let it rip because I've walked into the facility the wrong way. I haven't followed the lines, or I haven't done something according to these bizarre rules of how I'm meant to move in a certain place at a certain time. First of all, I'm being mindful, so I'm already observing my own thoughts. I'm already observing the outside world. Okay, so the person snaps, verbally snaps at me. So I hit that pause button. Remember, we talked about the pause button. One of our previous guests talked about mindfulness as the pause button. You hit the pause button, and everything kind of goes into freeze frame inside my mind. So I can have time to step back and look at the situation and decide what are the correct steps to take here. Because if I don't do this, I'm automatically going to snap back. And then before you know it, you've got police and you've got court cases galore and you've got a big drama that you didn't want. Okay? We need to be no drama llamas in mindfulness school. Okay? So hit the pause button and analyze the situation. Okay? So the person snapped at you. Why have they snapped at me? Why I'm a customer. Why have they snapped at me? Okay. First of all, hit the pause button. I'm not going to react. Don't react. Whatever you do, Vince, don't react. Just be cool as a cucumber. Don't react. First thing. Secondly, you can maybe start to think, well, why have they snapped at me? I haven't murdered anyone. I haven't stolen from them. I haven't vandalized them. I haven't assaulted or molested any of them. Okay, I haven't done the usual things. Done none of that. I've just been going about my business, buying from the shelves or using the facility here. It may be that on a conscious level or a subconscious level, that person at that time that's snapping isn't having a great time. So why do people draw you into a drama that you don't want to be drawn into in the first place? Generally, it's because if people are in a bad way, they don't want to feel alone. They want you to feel the same way that they do. And the only way to do that is to do something to cause a reaction, to get the police, to get the court cases. They want a drama. Now, the other thing when you're hitting that pause button to remember is that probably when someone snaps at you, you're probably having quite a good time. Generally, people do this when your life is okay, it's good. And all that person has to do is to provoke you, to bring you out of that state of feeling good, just when life's going so well. So when I've hit that pause button, the other thing that I have to take a mental note of is right now, life's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't want to ruin this. I've got so many things to look forward to. I'm not going to let this person pull me into drama and ruin all these nice things that I've got to look forward to. So that's the other thing. While I've hit that pause button, and because I'm doing what's called critical thinking, I'm looking at the situation. Remember, mindfulness is about being the observer. We practice observing our own thoughts and our emotions, which are our own assassins most of the time. Okay? But when you start developing that ability and you analyze your own thoughts and realize what to do, you then start to become aware of the outside world as well, which is a bonus. Okay? So that you don't get sucked into people's dramas. And it can happen every day of your life. This can happen every day of your life. But if you're mindful, you start to look out for these things. You start to become aware. You even might expect these things to happen. And you always notice it happens to you when life's pretty good. You're on a roll. So you have to be extra careful when someone provokes you because they're trying to pull you into drama. They're trying to pull you down because they want you to be the same as them, either consciously or unconsciously. Okay? So once you've ticked all those boxes, you've observed your own thoughts and your reactions, you've observed the other person, you're very quickly aware of the situation through your self-awareness. That's a key word our guest on last week's show mentioned quite a lot, self-awareness, being aware. And with self-awareness and a bit of practice, you can diffuse that situation by not reacting at all. You don't have to do anything. And just remember, when you've hit that pause button, here's another handy tip that I've realized over the past couple of years is you don't need people to like you to survive. You don't need people to like you to survive. So that's why when employees snap at us, is because we feel offended because we want people to like us. So if someone snaps at us, that means they don't like us. But we're conditioned to react that way from when we're born, and it's continually reinforced as we get older. But when you hit that pause button, think to yourself that if anything, if what I've said is even too much information to deal with, just hit that pause button and remember this very simple rule. I don't need people to like me to live, to survive. End of. And that's it over. And you just walk on. And then you can very quickly, you realize that it's been and gone. In mindfulness, we live in the present moment. After a couple of minutes, that experience is gone. It's over. It's not coming back. Even if you're still feeling a bit hurt by the person that's cut into you. As 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, an hour goes by, you'll find that negativity is dissipated, and you'll feel pleased with yourself that you've diffused that situation all in your head without the need for police and court cases, etc., etc. You've cut out the middleman. Okay? And also the other aspect of mindfulness is to be non-judgmental with yourself, your thoughts. When you're meditating, if thoughts come into your head, you don't berate yourself and say, oh, I'm no good at meditation, I'm rubbish at this mindfulness thing. It's about just allowing the thoughts and saying, okay, there's thoughts there. I'm going to just try and get on and focus on my breathing for this meditation. And it's the same with the outside world. Always try and practice compassion, not just with yourself, but the rest of the world outside, even people that snap at you. Just try and, if you can, be non-judgmental. But the non-judgmental thing tends to work maybe 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour after the bad experience has happened. It's easier to be non-judgmental. But when it's actually happening to you, just remember 2 simple steps. Hit that mindfulness pause button, stand back, take a breath, and just remember, you don't need people to like you to live. It's as simple as that. Okay? You don't need people to like you to live. And then before you know it, within an hour, you'll be back to your happy state again, looking forward to whatever you were doing or getting on with your business. Quite the thing. And you'll be pleased with yourself that you diffused that whole situation in your head using CBT without even having to say anything to anyone. Okay? So that's just I just wanted to give you a little example of how I used CBT since the last show. And I know this is something that's going to happen to me again and again and again. Probably this week coming. And it'll probably be in the car. Road rage is another popular way for people to release their emotions and to create a drama. And before you know it, your car's damaged or you're in court and you've got the police and you've got the courts and things like that. We just want to have a peaceful life because we've had enough drama for the last. Do you not think we've had enough drama for the last 4 months? Life's been pretty dramatic. Anxiety, depression, and stress is at the max, especially for those of us who lost all our jobs and lost our work and have no job to go back to. Right? We're being pushed to the limit. So when someone comes along and snaps at you, you got to be extra careful to just keep your cool and remember that key phrase, I don't need people to like me in order for me to survive and live in this world. So there you are. That's our theory for tonight. So if you're ready, we'll go into our gentle movement. And you'll need a yoga mat, or perhaps bring your device over to you to your bed or the couch, or outside on the grass if you can get your Wi-Fi there, and just join in the movement. Now, we feel stress in the body, so that's why when I used to teach classes, we work with the body, and it's all about focusing on your body for the next 10-15 minutes, listening to the music, rather than being stuck in autopilot, rather than being stuck in the world of thought, rather than being stuck in rumination about something. Just try for the next 10-15 minutes to just be in your body. Follow the instructions on the video. Now, if for whatever reason you can't lie down and do the exercise, maybe you've got a back problem, don't worry. Just sit in a comfy chair and focus on the images and the sounds, and try and focus on that rather than autopilot. It's all about building up that muscle memory. It's all about building up your mindfulness skills so that you can take control and thoughts and emotions don't take so much control anymore. Okay, so if you're all ready, let's run VT, see how you get on. Now, in some of our classes, we can work with the mats. So this exercise is 3 combined into 1. We'll be doing a little bit of yoga, combined with a Tibetan relaxation exercise, and we'll be including the body scan technique, which is a popular exercise in many mindfulness classes. Now, if you don't have a yoga mat, it's okay. You can do this on your bed as well. And this is easy to do. Practice this at home anytime you want. It's a very good relaxation technique. So, just get on your back. And I would also recommend for this exercise to have a blanket ready for the meditation at the end. Okay, so just lie down, just relax, and you're just going to let your arms come up and back. Just observe how relaxing this is. Join in with me. I learned this technique from Master Sudish, who's my local yoga teacher. And just let the arms fall down to your sides. Just relax. Let all your muscles just flop down. Now we're going to start with our body scan technique. I want you to relax the muscles in your feet. And relax the muscles in your toes. Relax your feet. Relax. Moving up to the calf muscles. Relax your calf muscles. Moving up to your thighs. Relax your thighs and your quad muscles. Relax. Relax your legs. Any tension that you notice, just relax it. Moving up to your torso, relax the muscles in your stomach. And relax the muscles in your lower back. Moving up to the chest, relax your chest muscles. And relax your shoulders. Relax. Relax the muscles in your upper arms and relax the muscles in your lower arms. Relax the hands. Relax. Moving up to your head, relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your forehead and relax the muscles in your scalp. Relax your whole body. Relax. If you notice any tension in your muscles, just let the muscles flop down and relax. Once your whole body's relaxed, all the muscles relaxed, bring your right knee up, as so. Then your left knee up. Arms up to apex. Now either stay where you are or come up for 20. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. Right leg down. Left leg down. Arms down. Right leg flat. Left leg flat. Relax. Round 2. Relax your feet, the muscles in your feet, and relax your legs. Relax your upper torso. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and your hands. Relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your scalp. Relax. Right leg up, left leg up. Arms up to apex. Stay where you are or come up for 20. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Right leg down, left leg down. Arms down, right leg flat, left leg flat. Relax. Round 3, body scan. Relax your feet and relax your legs. Relax your stomach muscles and relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and relax your hands. Relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your forehead. Once you're totally relaxed, right leg up, left leg up. Arms up to apex. Stay where you are or come up for 20. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right leg down, left leg down. Arms down, right leg flat, left leg flat. Relax. Next round, relax your feet and relax your legs. Relax your upper torso and relax your arms. Relax your shoulders and relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your scalp. Once your body's totally relaxed, right leg up, left leg up. Arms up to apex. Stay where you are or come up for 20. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right leg down, left leg down. Arms down. Right leg flat, left leg flat. Relax. Just breathe in the present moment. Next round, relax your feet and relax your legs. Relax your stomach muscles and relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and relax your hands.
Relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your forehead. When your body's totally relaxed, right leg up, left leg up. Arms up to apex. Stay where you are or come up for 20. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right leg down. Left leg down. Arms down. Right leg flat. Left leg flat. Relax. Last round. Body scan technique. Relax the muscles in your feet and relax the muscles in your legs. Relax the muscles in your upper torso. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms and relax your hands. Relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your scalp and your forehead. Okay, last round. Body scan technique. Relax the muscles in your feet and relax the muscles in your legs. Relax the muscles in your upper torso. Relax your arms and relax your hands. Relax the muscles in your face and relax the muscles in your forehead and your scalp. When all your body's totally relaxed, right leg up, left leg up. Arms up to apex. Stay where you are or come up for 60. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Right leg down. Left leg down. Arms down. Right leg flat. Left leg flat. Now at this point at home, you might want to put a blanket over you to stay warm. And we'll just do a short meditation. Just lie there and focus on your breath. Any thoughts coming in, try to come back to your breath and concentrate on letting all your muscles just flop down. Just meditate for a couple of minutes. And counting down. 5. Coming back to the room. 4. Coming back to the room. 3. Coming back to the room. 2. Coming back to the room. 1. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and take your seat again.
So, how did you get on there? Was that good? Did you enjoy that? Did you manage to stay in your body rather than be lost in autopilot? That's the main thing. It's just about coming out of thinking just for 15 minutes. It's not even easy to do. We can spend our whole lives trying to perfect that, but as long as you keep trying your exercises each week, that's the main thing. Now, since we started the exercise video, we have been joined by some more raconteurs, so we welcome to the show Karsten Quisler, Margaret, and Laura Binney. Welcome. My DJ horn was a bit slow tonight, never mind. Maybe there's too many people watching this show. I don't think so. I should be so lucky. So welcome to our raconteurs who have joined us. And we still have our guest to come up on the show tonight. Our guest is Erick Rainey. And he's had quite an amazing life journey. But I'm not going to say any more. I'm going to let him tell you about his life's journey and his life's mission. So if you're ready, I'll run VT and let's listen to what Erick had to say. Enjoy.
And today we welcome Erick Rainey. Erick is an international award-winning speaker. He's an NLP trainer and he's a coach. Welcome to the show, Erick.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So before we go into our questions, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I met Erick. I've actually known Erick for over 10 years, and I first met Erick in Edinburgh, at the Edinburgh Assembly Rooms, and he had a stall at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, and every year me and my friends used to go to the festival, and we used to enjoy breathing in the incense and seeing the crystals and seeing the Reiki people and the angel people. And I remember seeing Erick, and he was all dressed in black, very enigmatic looking, and I said, I'm going to check this guy out. So I went up to him and I said, hey, what's NLP? And Erick gave me some, like 3 easy examples of how to do NLP at home. And that's how I met Erick. But that wasn't the last time we were going to meet. I actually started seeing Erick at business networking events in Edinburgh. And then I also had a part-time job in a local video store, and Erick came in one day and we started talking and started working on some experimental video projects. Then Erick moved away to Perthshire. Then I ended up in Perthshire. So our paths keep crossing over and over. So that's how I know Erick, and I thought, got to get this guy on the show. Okay, so we're going to start with our first question. Erick, what kind of problems do people come to you for help with?
So they come to me for a variety of different reasons. Anxiety would be one of them, stress, lack of sleep would be another. Public speaking is a big one, and that's something that I've specialized in over the years. Time management sometimes, and weight loss would be a cross section of things that people come to me for. I just want to say that all of them fall under one banner, and that is communication skills. So you might say, well, how does that work, Erick? If somebody's got low-level anxiety or even high-level anxiety, how is that a communication skill issue? Well, the issue is your internal dialogue and how you're talking to and about yourself. And other issues may be how you're speaking to and about other people, or your ability to listen. It's all down to communication, whether it's external or internal.
Now, Erick, before you became a coach and a trainer, you were doing something completely different. Tell us a little bit about what you were doing as a job before this.
So this could take a long time. No, I went to art college, and after graduating with an art degree, I got interested in dancing and performance. I applied to and got into London School of Contemporary Dance. And after I left there, I started working professionally as a dancer, and then I branched into acting. And I ended up doing a load of different jobs over the years, working for the Royal Opera House, the Royal Ballet, Andrew Lloyd Webber's Really Useful Theatre Company, and all these different shows that I've been in. And I just want to say, and I'm going to keep coming back to it, that stood me in good stead for where I ended up, because when you're an actor and you're in multiple different shows, you've got to really be a good communicator, because you're dealing with a director. You have to be able to take directions and communicate that way. You've got a choreographer, perhaps. You've got to understand and process that. You've got your fellow performers that you've got to communicate with the whole time. So I really learned how to listen carefully, and I also learned how to communicate what my needs are and what I needed.
Now, Eric, like many of our guests, has had lived experience of stress and anxiety. He's had an amazing journey. Eric, can you tell us a little bit about your journey through that dark time, and what you did to get yourself out of it?
So I kind of hit my rock bottom, so to speak, when my relationship broke down with my wife. And basically, I went into a spiraling downward movement where I became unbelievably well. First of all, it started with stress, then it moved to anxiety, and then it moved to depression. And I started losing massive amounts of weight. I was very, very distressed. I was put on antidepressants and sleeping pills and mild sedatives. I was really not in a good place. And I remember going to the doctors with my youngest son at the time. He was 3 years old, and he was so scared about and so worried about dad. He crawled under my seat while I was talking to the doctor. And so yeah, that's how bad it got. I lost a massive amount of weight in a very short period of time. Basically, my body was cannibalizing itself, and I wasn't eating. I wasn't looking after myself. People who are depressed don't.
So, what happened? What happened to you to get yourself out of that space? Because when we spoke earlier, you mentioned the AA, and that led you on the right path. Can you tell us about that?
I had counseling, and as I mentioned before, I was on antidepressants and various medications, and I was, trying. The thing with depression is, I liken it to be like being in a deep, dark hole, and there's no foothold and there's no handles to climb out of this hole. And it's even though you might be surrounded by other people, you feel totally alone, and you feel unable to actually talk to people. And it's a really terrible place to be, and it's incredibly hard to break out of that. So I had done lots of reading and listening to various programs, and nothing seemed to work. And then I listened to a radio show, and they talked about alcohol. And I was drinking heavily at the time, trying to self-medicate and control my negative emotions through alcohol. And this program articulated how there's a direct corollary between alcohol and, well, it is a depressant. One glass of wine is a stimulant, but when you go past 2 glasses, it becomes a, a depressant. And so, therefore, I thought I tried so many times to give up alcohol and stop drinking on my own, and was unable. So I went to AA, and I joined the 12-step program that they have, and somebody kindly sat down with me and he took me through this 12-step program. It doesn't happen overnight, it takes a long time, But through that process, Vince, I realized that I then turned around and I helped other people through through the 12-step program. And then I thought, I really like helping people. How can I cultivate and develop that further? And I basically applied for and won a scholarship to the coaching academy, which at the time was down near Brighton. And I ended up getting my scholarship and graduating from the coaching academy. But while I was down at the coaching academy, all the buzzwords, everybody was like talking, hey, have you heard of NLP? And have you heard of this new neuro-linguistic programming? And I was like, what is this? So I did a bit of research and I thought, wow, that sounds interesting. So I then found a trainer and I trained in neuro-linguistic programming at practitioner level. There's different levels. I then went on to become a master practitioner of NLP, and then I took it even further and I became a trainer. While I was training in neuro-linguistic programming, I discovered, or I didn't discover, but I was introduced to something called timeline therapy and also hypnotherapy or hypnosis. So a lot of people know it by. And I trained in those skills as well. So I was really acquiring lots of skills in how to help people transform and change their lives for the better. And I want to stress something really clearly during this. I don't change people. People change themselves. I'm merely a conduit. I'm a facilitator that enables people. And that's a really key word, is empowerment and enablement. And then I realized, I realized there was a missing component in all of these skills that I had, and I was doing great work with people, and I started to speak about these subjects as well. So I started honing my presentation skills, and I started competing in speech competitions. I became a motivational speaker. Because as I learned more and more about psychology and what makes people tick, I wanted to I was looking for a way in which I could max out on my ability to help other people and change the world. So this missing component was a spiritual component. And a lot of people who are in personal development and into psychology and NLP come to this point. So it's not that unusual. So I went off to Hawaii and I studied something called Huna, which is the Hawaiian spiritual practice. And turns out they've been practicing NLP for 2,000-3,000 years. And then it's sort of, throughout this time, I was basically practicing yoga, which I had started years and years ago. And basically, and just to come up to the current present date, I was doing yoga at my local 4-star hotel here in Perthshire, and the teacher went off to The Hague to teach geography, as you do. And I said to the management there, I said, "Who's taking your place?" And they said, "Oh, we're not sure. We're interviewing people." And I said, "Well, interview me, because I did my yoga training years and years ago." And so I basically applied for and got that job. And this is my class behind me. This is me there conducting a relaxation and chill out session at the end of one of my yoga sessions. That's a very long-winded answer to a fairly short question. I hope that's okay.
So Eric, I'm going to ask Eric if he can give us some handy tips on how to deal with anxiety, because a lot of people who are watching this are trying to deal with anxiety, Eric.
Well, I absolutely have some handy tips. If you were to ask me, well, you are asking me, but the number one thing is breathing. So I actually, right before this interview, I went and looked up online, and there's this German scientist, and they've discovered a breathing. So I'm just going to check my notes here. They've discovered a breathing pacemaker that's at the brain stem. It's called the pre-Botzinger complex. And it's a neural circuitry that causes us to be very anxious when we breathe quickly, yeah, the fight or flight. And conversely, it causes us to completely chill out and go super, super calm when we breathe deeply. So the first thing I would say, anybody suffering anxiety, anybody who is has stress in their lives, is stop, sit still, and breathe deeply. Now, a lot of people don't know how to breathe deeply, so I've designed a few handy tips and leaflets that tell people step by step how to breathe deeply. But so you basically want to use your stomach muscles as well as your chest muscles, and typically we use, get this, we use about 18 or 19% of our lung capacity. So I teach people how to use a lot more than that, and we activate that cortex, that neural complex at the brain stem in order to chill out. There's a chemical involved as well that your brain automatically makes when you do breathe deeply. I won't go into too much detail. The other thing I would say would be movement. Okay, so when I'm doing therapeutic work with clients, or even if I'm in a corporate environment, and somebody associates into a negative or traumatic experience, and they go into depression, the first thing I do is get them to stand up and walk quickly. So you're changing their physiology. And also the other thing I get them to do is to look up, because depressed people look down. They're always looking down. Okay, so walk quickly, look up. Now, in lockdown, you can't always go for a long walk. Yeah, and if you look up, you're just going to see the ceiling. So the solution for that, and this is the best thing for changing your physiology, is getting one of those miniature trampolines. It's called a trampette, or it's actually called a rebounder. They're used for exercise, but honestly, it changes your whole psyche, your whole outlook. If you bounce for 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes on a rebounder, put on your favorite music, bounce and do lots of crazy crazy movement and stuff, it's impossible to stay in a depressed state. That would be one thing. So we got breathing, we got movement. The other thing I would encourage people to do is to sit down, take a piece of paper, and write gratitude at the top of it. Now, I don't know if some of your other interviewees have basically said this, but when you start to write out exactly what you're grateful for, and we have so much to be grateful for, because no matter how bad your life is, and no matter how depressed or anxious or stressed you are, guaranteed you have things in your life that you can be grateful for. Just starting with the simple stuff. I got a roof over my head. I've got clothes on my body. I got shoes on my feet. I've got a bed to sleep in. There's thousands, millions of people who don't have that. So I set myself a challenge when I first learned this, that I would write 10 things I was grateful for on my first day. And the second day I could write 10 more things, but they couldn't be repeated. So I had to come up with 10 new things every day. And I wrote a gratitude list every day for over 2 years. That's a lot of things to be grateful for. And when you're feeling grateful for stuff, it lifts you. It makes you very buoyant. So just quickly, the other things I would say: don't drink, stop drinking. Easier said than done. It really isn't easy because it is an addictive thing, especially if you've been doing it habitually. Remember, it is a depressant, so you want to get to grips with that. And I would advise anyone to go to AA. Okay, and that would help. And the other thing that really gets people stuck in depression is the inability to ask for help. So open your mind, open your heart, and ask someone to help you. And remember, here, this is really key. So this is the same as even if you're asking somebody out on a date or whatever. When you ask somebody for help and they say, no, I can't right now, or it's not a good time, or absolutely not, then you just say to yourself, thank God for that. Now I'm free to ask the right person. Okay, so you're going to turn it around, find the silver lining, and go and ask again. And because they're not right for you if they say no. But people turn it in on themselves and they go, oh, I'm rejected, I feel rejected. And it's not the case. It's not the case. You're not being rejected. They just weren't right for you at that time, in that moment. So those would be the things I would say. Start with breathing. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of deep breathing. Movement, get your rebounder or go for a walk, look up, move quickly, go for a run or cycle. What was the other thing? Yeah, gratitude list. Write a gratitude list, ask for help, and don't drink. Just to start with. There are other processes you can do to get yourself out. I'm working on some programs at the moment, just for those very things, but we'll tell you that in a minute.
Well, those were absolutely excellent tips. Really, a lot of really good stuff in there, and I recommend that you rewind this interview and play it back several times to pick up all these things, all these points that Erick has given us. Now, we're still in lockdown. However, Erick, what are your plans for the future?
So, I went on a training, and it was about becoming a key person of influence. And they were saying, if you want to be really influential, you need to have a book. So there was a book writing section of this course. And there were all these entrepreneurs, and they were all learning and writing their book. We all started our book, and we all started personal development books, because that's the game we were in. My book quickly morphed into a novel. But I wrote this novel about this woman, and she goes through this 10-stage process. She's guided by an old lady. I won't go into the fine details, but the way I've written it is that you, the reader, read about this woman going through this transition and her changing her life from absolute, a terrible situation to a magnificent one. You think you're reading about her, but actually you go through the process as you read it. And so that's how I've designed it. It is a development book, but it's done subliminally through your unconscious mind. So the other thing I'm doing is I'm amalgamating all of these techniques that I've picked up over the years, neurolinguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnosis, huna, and yoga, a lot of yoga practices as well. I'm amalgamating them into a concise program that people can follow and a step-by-step process. And the last thing is, not everybody can afford to come onto a program like that. Not everybody has the time to do that. So I'm in development with a 7. It's called Take the 7. All right, 7 minutes of your time to take what is apparently a problem or what's troubling you. Usually it's caused by another person. And you go through 7 stages in 7 minutes. So each minute has a stage. It's really simple to follow, and it has an acronym. And you go stage through, and step by step through this 7-step process. And at the end, you have an action plan. So you're basically learning how to coach yourself from a problem stuck state to a state of solution and final, change. Basically, is what people are after. So those are 3 projects that I'm doing at the moment: finishing my book, designing this amalgamated program, and Take the 7.
So you want to contact Erick? Erick, how do people get in touch with you?
So people can get in touch with me through my email, which is Erick, ERICK, at Rainworks, RAINWORKS.co.uk. That's .co.uk. In case if there's people in the States or in Europe wanting to. So once again, Erick at rainworks.co.uk. That's Erick with a CK. Okay, that would be one way. And there's also I've got a website that you can go to. It's about me. It's about.me/Erick Rainey.
Erick Rainey, thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
So that was the amazing Erick Rainey, and just to recap on some of the points there that Erick made, again, as I said, I would recommend you rewind this interview and watch over all these amazing tips that Erick uh, has given us. But just to quickly recap, Erick's unique in that he offers timeline therapy. I've never heard of timeline therapy before, so I'd be curious to find out what is this timeline therapy. I've never heard anyone else offering that before. And also, Erick, as he said, he went to Hawaii and he studied Huna. Now, again, Huna is something I've never heard of before, so that's another reason I would want to go to Erick, because he as he says, he's offering this new program, which is a combination of yoga and NLP and Huna, and that's a very unique service that I've never heard of before. And also to recap on a couple of the key words that Erick mentioned there, transformation and empowerment. Now, these are the two words which represent what this wellness show is all about. It's about change, transformation, and as I say each week, if you know anyone that's been at rock bottom, has lost it all, maybe had it all but lost it all, but through some spiritual training or holistic process, whether it be Buddhism or Reiki or breathwork or whatever they did that they to help them get their life back on track. If you know anyone like that and you want us to tell their story, get in touch. We'll come and film them and we'll tell their story. Maybe they've got a business or a book that they'd like to promote. That's what this show is all about. I want to co-create with you. It's not about me. I'm just really the kind of anchor on the show. I want to co-create with you, and if any of you folks know an inspirational person that you think I could get in touch with, uh, let me know, and I'll try my best to get them on the show. And another couple of handy things that Erick mentioned is gratitude. Now, this is something people have said to me before. It's something I'm aware of. Doing a gratitude list, being grateful for having enough food to eat, having clean water to wash yourself. You know, I mean, I've seen some really horrific things on social media, and again, like things like cruelty to animals. It really does get to me, and I think it's awful the suffering that goes on. And it's 2020, and there's still this suffering that's going on right now, while some of us have enough food to eat and shelter and things. It's all about not taking these things for granted and being grateful for what we have, and also using the resources that we have to try and help those who are suffering. We can always do something. Uh, there's no excuse of saying, "Oh, what can I do? I can't do anything." There's always something we can do. We don't have to travel abroad and help the suffering. You can start by helping people in your own immediate geographical circle. It could be friends, it could be family, and just send that vibration of healing out, not just towards yourself, but to the rest of the world. And you will be guided to ways of helping others through maybe doing voluntary work with voluntary organizations. We're coming out of lockdown now. Places are starting to open up. Charities are starting to open up. I'm looking forward to going back to working with my rescue cats. I've not been involved with them for 4 months now, and I'm really looking forward to going back to that when they open their doors to the volunteers again, because it is such a fulfilling thing to do voluntary work, even when you're feeling terrible. You know, you can experience feeling really bad and at rock bottom, but you can still do some voluntary work as well, and it does help a little bit to make you feel better about yourself until you start to recover. And even when you recover, the idea is you keep on doing your voluntary work. Maybe you'll increase it Maybe you'll do more. But as long as you're doing something, it's better than nothing. And also, Eric mentioned the trampoline. Getting a trampoline. Have you ever thought about getting a trampoline for stress? I've never thought of getting a trampoline. I think it's an excellent idea. In fact, I think you can probably buy them on places like Amazon and John Lewis or places like that for adults, not just for children, but for adults. I think that's a really good idea. I've not tried it myself, but there's a really good tip that Eric gives. Get yourself a trampoline and start bouncing yourself. Bounce back to health again. Literally bounce back to health. So there you are. So again, get in touch with Eric if you're interested in some of the subjects that he's brought up tonight. So we've come to the end of the show now, and all that remains for me to do tonight is to say thank you once again to Erick Rainey for giving us his time and speaking to us tonight. Thank you to our raconteurs who joined us tonight and spent this special quality time with us tonight. Thank you to William Ritchie, Alex Miller, Carsten Quisler, Margaret, and Laura Binney. So thank you all. And also thank you to you, our viewers, for spending this time with us tonight. So I hope you enjoyed doing our gentle movement tonight, and I hope you enjoyed listening to Eric speaking as well. So we will return next time. We'll be speaking to a lady called Sandra Codd. So watch out for Sandra next time. That brings us to the end of round 16. Namaste. Have a good week. Have a good weekend. I'm off to watch the Ghosties now on the Relay channel, and we will see you next time. Run credits. Bye for now.